In this week's episode of The Enthusiast, yes, that is right, The Enthusiast is back. And in this week's episode of The Enthusiast, Mad Cave Studios' Phantom Comics are really heating up, and so much more in this week's episode. And just a quick mention to say that there was a Superman comic, and it sold for $9.3 million. It was found in an attic, and I just wanted to mention it because it's the biggest comic that is gone for the biggest amount of money and price at auction by Heritage Auctions ever, and I don't see it being topped ever again. Unless another like Action Comics superhero Superman issue number 1 comes around in the future and it goes for even more than that, I will be astounded because that was just amazing. It was just amazing. In the few publications news this week, we have brand new Phantom comic is coming out on the 4th of December. It is called The Frankenstein's Legacy plus Hunter's Prey Part 2. So you can imagine what the cover is going to look like for that comic book. It's going to look really, really, really awesome with Frankenstein as the main story. Frankenstein's Legacy. Now that sort of just reminds me of two people. One called Peter Anderson and the other one called the Brazilian Italian artist. Brazilian Italian artist, Brad. They're both different countries, Brad. They're both different countries. I just can't remember Altmight's name. Also, Giant Size Phantom number 35 is out right now, and the front cover is done by a very cool Jason Paulos. Very cool Jason Paulos. Really, really cool. It's so cool that Giant Size Phantom is up to number 35. It's like in a bingo room where you about to call out a number and it accidentally happens to be number 35. Can I have number 35? Number 35 is the next bingo number. It's not like I've had practice with bingo and calling bingo numbers before. No, it's not like that at all. Wink, wink, I might have. And coming up on this week's show, we've got in the publisher's news, Zorbiston Comics, The Phantom issue number 22 is coming out. Shakti Comics, The Phantom issue number 23 is coming soon. Mad Cave Studios, The Phantom issue 5 is coming out, and we're going to have a look at all the other covers up to issue number 5 that have already came out before. But we're going to have a look at all the covers, all the standard covers that have come out from issue 1 to issue 5, and they'll be on this week's show. And also, lastly, we've got Hermes Press releases statement on 2026 Phantom Comics. A new discussion, are Phantom Comics better in color or black and white? And in this week's publishers news, Zorbiston Comics are coming out with the new Phantom issue number 22 from their series of comics that started a few years ago. The cover is done by Luke McDonnell and Anthony Tolan. It's Tolan Wood! Tolan Wood! It's an Anthony Tolan special. It's a cover by Anthony Tolan Wood. If you don't know who Anthony Tolan is, he has a Facebook and an Instagram, and he has a lot of old Phantom comic book strips, and I think his man cave would be called Tolan Wood because deep woods and Tolan being associated with the Phantom, so Tolan Wood, yeah. Great explaining, Brad. Great job. We've also got Shakti Comics are going to be releasing their 23rd Phantom comic from their comic book series. An early artwork of the cover tells us it will be a cover done by a Vizashek Bizwas up the bizarre. The title on the cover also says Prince Orc, so it must be a Prince Orc type of story. And there is no disrespect of Shek Bizwas. He's a great artist. The artwork up on the screen right now just shows how great of an artist he is. And some of the covers he's put out is really, really awesome. And there's no disrespect to the artist. You can now watch my show, The Enthusiast, is everywhere. It is everywhere. It is in Australia, it's in New Zealand, the land of the Kiwis, it's in Germany, it's in UK, it's in England, it's in USA, it's in Brazil, it's all over the globe, where the passion for the Phantom doesn't waver, and new episodes weekly on Tuesdays. I will also be putting a link to the podcast in the description down below. This year, new episodes on Tuesdays, I guess you could say really didn't happen. I had a big, massive gap where I was in the process of moving stuff and getting stuff sorted so that this show and all the other things that I wanted to record could happen. But yeah, I'm sorry that there was such a big gap between April and now, where I'm just about finishing or going to finish the latest season of The Enthusiast. And Mad Cave Studios are going to be releasing the Phantom #5, with the cover being supplied by legendary Freddie Williams. #2, it is Freddie! Freddie is awesome. Freddie! Maybe they should call him Freddie Tolanwood, because he's been doing some really, really amazing covers really recently. In his cover work for this amazing series has been, in my personal opinion, fantastic. And I can't wait for what comes out cover-wise in the future from Freddie, because they have been awesome. If you can't tell how enthusiastic I'm out of his covers, then I don't know what else I could do here. Can I say, oh, they were great? I think that was the same thing. And you can now get 14% off on all things Hermes Press with the code Enthusiast 2022, all in one word. Whether you are looking for something new to read on a afternoon after hard day's work, and you just come in from either mowing the lawn, having the test match century up the Aussies, having the test match century after a big 2 days of test match at Perth, or you just come in from the sun, you've had a big day, and you just want to read some Phantom comics, well, Hermes Press always has something for you to find at Hermes Press. Lastly, in the publisher's news, Hermes Press, well, what do you know? It's Hermes Press has released a press statement on what will be coming out in 2026 for Phantom Comics. These are the comics that are coming out next year. The Phantom, The Complete Dailies, Volume 35 from the years 1991 to 1993 will be due for release in January/February 2026. Another comic book called The Phantom, The Complete Sundays, Volume number 10. It's been a while since I've put a Sunday book out, featuring the years 1970 to 1974, will be coming out in February and March in 2026. And I think it's just so great that they've come back to the Sundays and started to continue the volumes again, because many people thought that they weren't going to come back, and many people were thinking, oh, what, they haven't made a Sundays book for a long time. When's the next book going to come out? Is it ever actually going to reappear? Are they just going to make dailies books still, or when's the next Sunday book? And now we know that it is due for release in February and March next year in 2026. In this week's discussion, we're going to be talking about, are Phantom comics better in black and white or color? In color or black and white? That is the question. There are some people around the world who just love reading black and white stories. It could be that the stories are only published in black and white, and that's the reason why they only like it because there is no other publisher that chooses to publish stories in color. And it also could be that the publisher, it could be too expensive to publish stories for every book every year in color. It's very, really expensive to publish books that are in color every time. And yeah, that is why a lot of people just read black and white stories, because it can be very, very expensive in color all the time. And I guess that is the reason why few publications doesn't really publish every book in color. It's sort of like as a oh, we're going to be releasing something in color. It's going to be so special. It also could be based on personal preference on what they like. There are also people in the world, would you know, who love the Phantom in color and reading their favorite character in color. Publishers, for example, Regal Publishers, Shakti Comics, Mad Cave Studios, and Moonstone Comics, they all publish their stories in color. Not many of them have been published in black and white. And they have readers who enjoy reading their comics in color and couldn't imagine reading the Phantom in black and white with no joy or spirit on the page. And, well, my personal preference is black and white. What do you like? Do you like color stories or do you like black and white stories? Do you have a preference? Or what is your opinion on this discussion topic? Are Phantom comics better in black and white or color? In color or black and white? You see what I did there? You see what I did there? Black and white wins. It wins. It goes with a big old shot. No, it doesn't. Could it? Possible? And if you enjoy Phantom Cave reviews, what do you think of the Mad Cave Studios Phantom comics? Do you like it? Do you like where they're headed? Comment your suggestions and thoughts down below about the comics, and then also you can subscribe. You can subscribe to see more great videos like this, and as always, keep Phantom Caving, stay safe, and you'll see me next time on the YouTube channel with another episode of The Enthusiast.